Welcome back, everyone. Before we begin, I have an exciting announcement. Today officially marks the start of my brand new 20-day Python Masterclass series. Over the next 20 days, I'll be uploading short, focused videos, one each day, covering Python step by step in a clear and beginner friendly way. You'll be able to watch them individually as separate daily videos or organized neatly in a playlist and later compiled together into a full 4-hour Python masterclass. If you're completely new here, I also recommend watching my earlier videos, Basics of Python Part 1 and Part 2. They're optional, they give you a quick glimpse of Python and help you get a small head start before diving deep into these 20 days of detailed learning. Now, with that said, welcome to day 1. This is where your real Python journey begins. Today, we are going to cover some of the most essential building blocks of Python: variables, data types, numbers, strings, booleans, taking user inputs, and typecasting. These concepts are the foundation of everything you do in Python from today onwards. So let's dive in. A variable is simply a container, a name that stores some value in your program. Think of a variable like a jar. You put something inside the jar, give the jar a label, and then refer to it later by that label. In Python, creating a variable is extremely simple. You just type the variable name or a jar name basically in simple terms. Let's say age is equal to 20, and that's it. This is the variable's name is age, and the value in the variable is 20. So we can take, for example, as the jar contains 20 cookies. Makes sense, right? Now, this is not the only type of variable. There are different types of them. But let me just tell you one thing: there's no need of semicolons, no data type declarations. Python figures it out for you. Some important rules are variable names must start with a letter or underscore. Make sure that they don't start with anything else, as Python will show error. They can't start with a number uh, because Python will not treat it as a variable. Instead, it will treat it as a function. So, well, that will just show you an error. So, we can't start the variable name as 1h equal to 30. Yeah, sure, 30. See, it'll just show you an error. You can type age1 is equal to 30 or a1ge is equal to 30. That totally makes sense to Python, but not one age is equal to 30. No spaces, use underscores instead. Like, say, for example, age of equal to 30. Well, it will again show you an error. See, the file is marked as red, which is an error. And if you run the code, it'll again show you an error because the Python treats a space as well a function, which we'll learn in future videos. So please don't do that. Let's just remove it. Just marking it so that it helps you. Okay, excellent. Now let's continue with the video. Python data types, numbers, strings, and booleans. Now let's go deeper into what you can store inside these variables. These are called data types. First, we'll start with is the first data type we'll start with is numbers. Python has mainly two types of numbers: int and float. There are a few more, but that's into more complicated uh, variable data types. So it's okay. We will learn that later on. So I'll just like I just showed you earlier. This age equal to 20 is one kind of um, data type, which is numbers, and the sub data type is int, and float is something like this. This is float. This is a float data type. Let's say age age equal to 20.5. Yeah. This is a float. So a float in simple terms is basically when there is a decimal point, and you have of course given some numbers after the decimal point, and int is whole numbers. So that's just like 24, 25, 26, 27, etc., etc. And you can do mathematics with them. Total is, let's say, total is equal to 20 plus 20.5, for example. This is also totally valid because the variable just adds 20 and 20.5, and then gives it out. It prints the total. So this is totally valid. You can do this as well. There's no worries. And just remember one thing, unlike C++ or any other language, most of them at least, you don't have to really declare what kind of data type are you using. So in C++, if you're using integer, then you have to type int, then you have to type the variable name, int age, then you have to type equal to, and then you type what's the number, or basically what's the number. Same with string, float, etc., etc. Now let's move on to the second data type, which is strings. Strings represent text, anything inside quotes. Let's say name is equal to Yatharth Kelkar. Now this is going to be treated as a string. So well, there's one important thing which I would like you to remember. That is, whenever you're dealing with text, then you're supposed to, and it's required to be kept inside double quotes. There is no option to it, because otherwise Python will show you an error. It's going to be an error, exactly. So you're supposed to say that. You're supposed to put the double quotes. But when you're treating ints or floats, basically the numbers with numbers, it's not mandatory to put the double quotes. It's only mandatory when when you're just going to print the number. Well, because you're if you're going to operate the numbers, like let's say you're going to add, subtract, divide, or multiply the numbers. Let's say we're going to multiply 20 times to 20 times 30, or 20 times 20 divided by 30, or 20 plus 30. Then, well, you're not supposed to put double quotes. Otherwise, Python will treat 20 plus 30. I mean, the result will be 2030 instead of the required result, which is 50. So if you put double quotes, then Python treats it as a string. And if you don't put it as double quotes, then Python treats it as numbers. And Python also detects whether are there really numbers. I mean, like, see, now if I remove the double quotes, then Python understood that, well, these are not numbers, these are strings, these are just alphabets. So Python will ask me to put double quotes like this. So yours, just remember this much, okay? I mean, you can concentrate strings, repeat strings, extract specific characters. Well, you can do all this stuff with strings. Let's say you want to print, say this is the name, and you want to print one character, one specific character from the string, then you just have to put this much, and Python does it for you. Now I'll just show you the magic. Wait, why? So, well, this is called indexing. um, I'll just explain that as well. Just 1 second. Now you saw I put zero, and the first digit, the first alphabet of the string Yatharth is printed. Yatharth Kelkar is printed, which is Y. So, well, indexing is basically pretty much simple. Uh, it's like each of the um, each of the strings have their own numbers, like particular each alphabet has their own numbers. Why? It starts from zero, okay, like the first alphabet in the word always starts from zero. So Y is zero, A is one, T is two, H is three, A is four, and so on and so forth. So now if I print, let's say, 8, and I run it, it should print space. Yeah, because my name is of 8 alphabets. So, well, spaces are also treated equally, just like strings. Okay, so now if I put 9, then, well, it will print K, capital K. Oh, sorry, my mistake. K, you saw? It printed K. This is called indexing. We'll learn in detail about indexing in the future videos, most likely on day 7 or day 8. Now let's move to the third data type, which is booleans. Booleans represent truth values. So, well, there are only two things which you can put in booleans, which is true or false, just like 0 or 1. So let's say we want to create a program of, is the user logged in into the system? Then, yeah, boolean data type, um, user underscore logged in is equal to true. This is one type. This is one, and the second one is um, admin underscore logged in equal to false. False. So now these are the only two types of booleans, true or false. So this stays constant throughout the program. Well, you can of course alter it later on. Let's say at the start, the both user and admin are not logged in, and then later on the user is logged in. Then it we can change it into true. Well, this comes useful when you are printing some information to, let's say, the admin, that yes, the user is logged in, and you can't really put an entire variable, like it won't work like that. So that's where where it comes useful, or when you're communicating with the system, like with the program, that yes, the user has logged in or the user has not logged in. It won't accept strings. Well, I mean, it will, but it will be more complicated for us programmers. That's why we generally use boolean. Now let's go to why data types matter. I mean, you will have to understand why they really matter. Otherwise, you might feel you might feel some confusion on where and where to use them. So the data type decides what operations you can perform. So, well, this is really important. Like, I mean, like I had given an example before. Oh, sorry, example. Now let's say age. No, we can't give the same variable name twice. We have to give a different one. Let's say E is equal to string 10 plus 20, and F is equal to 10 plus 20. Now you'll see the difference between each of them, print E and print F. Save the file and we'll run it once again. K, like we had told it, you see the difference? E, because it's treating 10 as a string and 20 as a string, it just combines it together. So it becomes 1020. And F is treating it as the numericals. It becomes 10 plus 20, which is equal to 30. So this is why data types matter. Else, the computer will be confused when to use I mean, when to combine it together and when to do some operation with it of adding. Yeah. Python tries to protect you from mixing incompatible types because that can cause errors. So just remember that much. It will just show you some underline, red underline, or something like that. Now let's move on to another concept, which is taking user input. Now let's make things interactive. In Python, you get user input using the input function. Oh, sorry, input function. Excellent. Now let's say we want to take the input from the user of which grade they're in. Grade equal to input. Enter. Enter your grade. we save it, and we run it. Now Python over here will give the question, and we type. Let's say I'm in 10th grade. Then yeah, the program starts because we have not told Python what to do with the input. Now let's say we want to print which grade we are in. So we just put print, and then another concept of Python comes into use over here, which I'll explain shortly. But just wait for 1 second. In grade 10, it printed 10. Now, like I had told about the concept, which I'm going to explain, is that if you're ever going to print something, then there are again two ways of printing it. Method number one is, well, when you print a variable, and method number two is when you print text. So, see, now if we have to print, let's say, text, hello world, then we put it in double quotes. But when we are printing variables, that time we have to put it without double quotes, because Python bifurcates between it like this. So anything within the double quotes will be printed just as it is, but anything outside the double quotes will be checked for one condition, which is it a variable? And if it is a variable, then it will print what's inside the variable. You get the difference? Now I'll just show it to you. Tens. Hello world. That's the difference. But if I put double quotes over here, double quotes over here, I rerun the program, then well, you see that it will just print grade, not which grade am I in. That's the difference. It's a small difference, but it's a room for error. Just make sure that you keep this in your mind whenever you program. Now let's go to another concept, very important concept, which is typecasting. Converting data types. To fix this issue, we use typecasting, which is you must have guessed it by now. If you didn't, then well, let me just explain what it is. For example, if we have to ever convert a string into an integer, let's say we are taking an input from the user, let's say of of salary, yeah, salary equal to input your salary. But now, if you want to do some operation with it, salary equal to monthly income. Sorry, let's declare a different variable. Monthly underscore income equal to salary minus IT. Just 1 second, I'll just declare another variable. IT equal to 10 minus IT. Excuse me for the spelling error. Here you go. Now you will see. Now just print monthly income is equal to this. Just wait. Look at it. Enter your salary. Let's go for a small number. Let's say 10. It will show you an error. Well, that's because salary, when we take the input from the user, salary is treated just like a string. But well, we don't want it to be treated as a string. We want it to be treated as a, guess what? Data type, which is number, integer data type, or float data type. Well, why is that so? Because we want to perform some kind of operation with it. But if we just wanted to print the salary, then we don't really require to convert it into a different data type. So how do we convert it? We put int, and we put another int over here. Sorry, a bracket over here. We close bracket over here. And now there won't be an error because, like I had mentioned earlier, we can only perform operations with numbers, not with strings. 10, let's say 10 again. Your monthly income is 0 because the income tax is of 10. So now this is why typecasting is important. Well, we can even convert strings into float. We can convert anything else into a string using the same method. So it's I'll just tell you the abbreviations, typecasting abbreviations. Let's say a string is actually equal to str, and float is equal to float, and integer basically is equal to int. Just remember this much. Wait, I guess I'm gonna float equal to float. So these are the abbreviations. So if you ever have to convert it, instead of int, you can just put any other one, float or string as well, str or int. Excellent. So now I just wanted to tell you one small thing, which is that float. If you ever create a data type of float, let's say you store number in float, then float also accepts decimals. So currently in salaries, you don't get it in decimal values. But let's say if a person is getting some commission, then the commission can vary, right? It can also be in decimals. So just to be on the safer side, you can just put float so that the user does not get an error. I mean, you can put it like that. It's generally preferred to put float, and that's what many people do. So yeah, I mean that also is applicable when you're entering height. You can be of 6.5 feet. The user can put it like that, right? And yeah, that's the thing. Now we move on to the last part of the video, which is the practice session. Now practice is very important in Python. It's not just that you know can just watch some video and learn from it. You have to practice. So, well, what we are going to practice is a simple program. That program is going to ask the user for his name, age, and favorite number, and print a message using all three. This is practice number one, and practice number two um, will be have to be done by you as a practice after the video. The answer of practice number two will be given in video number two. But practice number one's answer will be given in this video. So without wasting some further time, let's just do it right now. Problem number one. Let's say we have to take name, ask the user for name. So we create a name variable. Well, I just commented all of the lines so that we can just create the variables without any confusion. So let's start with name equal to input. Let's say please enter your name, and now we will ask the user for age equal to input, please enter your age. And now we take ask the user for his favorite number. So we'll just put number equal to input, please enter your favorite number. Excellent. Now what we do is that we print message with it. Now, well, we are just not going to print a normal message. Like we're not just going to print it that yeah, this is your number, this is your age. No, we're just going to print slightly differently. Yep. Print bracket. Oh, sorry. Hello. This is what we want to print. All right. So now this is another concept of Python, which I'll just shortly explain it over here. It's not that big. It's like I had explained. It comes under that only. Like in the print, we can also give a comma and write the data like a variable name, and again we can give a comma and we can give a string that, for example, hello over here, comma, the variable name, comma, your age is, comma. We can do like this also. So it's just a small like a sub concept of what we learned. So that's why I'm giving this as an exercise. And now let's just see what's the result. Please enter your name. My name is YATHARTHKLTR. Please enter your age, 16. Please enter your number. Let's say 18. Okay. Hello, Yathat Kelkar. You're 16 years old and your favorite number is 18. Yeah, so that's how practice number one was. And now, what you have to do after the video is ask for two numbers and show the sum, difference, product, division. And this reinforces input, casting variables, numeric operations just in one practice, which will not even take more than 5 to 7 minutes of your time. This will improve your Python. And trust me, just watching videos won't help you. You have to practice after watching the videos. And you get an entire 24 hours gap between day one's video, day two's video, between two videos in this Python masterclass. And well, if you're watching the entire 4 hour Python masterclass, you can pause the video and do this, but please do it. Now, I'll just point out a few small common beginner's mistakes. First beginner's mistake, which is the casting mistake. When you're taking input and you're supposed to do some operation, you sometimes forget that you have to put int or float or something like that. Next one is mixing incompatible types. So, well, you can't actually do this, print double quotes, hello, plus, oh, sorry, I ran the program, plus 20. You can't do that. It will just show you an error. I mean, it won't exactly like, yeah, please, okay, by one, exactly, it will just show an error because you can't add or do operation with two different data types. Just remember that much. But you can do operations between two different sub data types, which is number and int and float. Remember that much. Spelling variable names wrong, that's very common. Just please don't make errors. I just made one in the video sometime back. Not understanding string versus numbers. Okay, so well, you like it's just simple, like just like this. You can't do this. Common error. Error. This is one of the common errors. I'll just keep it like this. Now that's it for this video. Let's just have a quick summary. You learned variables, data types, which are int, float, string, and boolean. You learned how to take user inputs, typecasting, and basic operations in Python through the problems which we solved at the end. One problem. And I'll just give you a teaser for day two. Tomorrow we will we'll step into operators, expressions, and conditional logic. This is where your program starts making decisions and reacting to situations. So, thank you for watching this video. It is my pleasure to have you on my channel, and it really supports me to make such content. Thank you once again. Please do watch day two. And if you're watching the Python Masterclass, please complete it. Thank you once again. Until next time. Bye bye.